AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN. Always here, always local.
Welcome, 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 boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, men and women. Let's see, I believe that covers everybody. So happy to have you on the Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley filling in for Martha. Today is my last day. I will not see you till next year. Which I know couldn't come soon enough for some and comes too soon for others. Hey, I am really tickled to death today because you know what? My wife says the funniest thing about me telling a joke is me laughing at my jokes. And so I'm just telling you, I am excited about today's show. I hope that you'll enjoy it. I have put in several hours of searching and researching for this show today. I mean, I've got all kind of audio clips. I've gone way back in the vault. We're going to have a lot of fun. I've got a special segment coming up probably around the 10 o'clock hour, maybe a little before, just about dumb things that politicians and others have said over the years. I mean, I just couldn't pass it up, both in their own words and in just some quotes I have found. And I'll be glad to have any of yours. So you feel free to text me anything that might come to your mind as the show moves along. 770-535-2911. So yeah, do that. 770-535-2911. So you can text me and just tell me how great I'm doing. Oh, by the way, it's going to start off to a new year. My parking place has been freshly painted, new markings, and management has replaced my sign. Someone took my sign with the 3 stars, and they've put the 3 stars back up. So everything's good, except no cream pies, no oatmeal cream pies.
Yeah, I think there might have been a shortage, after the Christmas holiday. I think we just wiped them out, honestly, because we had a big box back there a couple weeks ago, and then it went away. Someone had to get to them. Yeah. So I think that those in charge are going to wait till start of the new year to replenish, to get some more snacks back there as well, not just the cream pies, but the rest of them.
I'm just trying to follow my doctor's orders. He said, Tom, you need to eat more things like oatmeal.
Yeah, oatmeal, it's healthy for you.
So oatmeal cream pies would be very good.
Exactly. Good carbs for in the morning.
All right. Hey, extraordinary producer, Brother Logan, open that door and let our children in. They're freezing out there.
All right, let me go get them.
Come on in. And, they got their Barbie dolls, and they've got the little fire trucks. Y'all look so beautiful today. Children. You look so beautiful. Thank you for stopping by. Did you get your hot chocolate? Okay, I see that hand. I'm glad you did. Go over next door to the ice cream shop and get you some hot chocolate and maybe an ice cream cone or something. All right, it's cold. Your lips gonna turn blue. All right, children, lay it on me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excellently done. I don't know if that's a word or not, but what a wonderful job. I'm so happy for you all. Thank you for coming by, and I hope that you'll come by again. All right, hold on a second. I've got to get this situated right here because I am looking at myself on the YouTube app. Go to YouTube, and then in the search bar right above it, type in Access WDUN. Scroll down a tad, and there'll be a little camera stand. Click on that camera stand, and you can watch the show. You can live stream the show, and I see that some are watching it even now. And yesterday, by the way, we had the largest number ever watch the Martha Zoller Show as I was co-hosting. I don't know about the Martha Zoller Show, but when I was co-hosting. So I'm not going to tell you what that number is, but it was the largest number I've seen. All right. Hey, we've had some great interviews. You can, by the way, extraordinary producer, aren't some of those previous shows like on that same, just scroll down and you'll find some shows?
I'm about to say, you can find all the previous shows pretty much for the most part on the from the Martha Zoller Show for the past couple of months. We've been doing live streams. So if you want to check out some of Tom's previous appearances or Martha's show, Monday through Thursday for the most part. Fridays, just kind of depends if she's in Atlanta or not. But you can check out all those shows and then some there. Just scroll down. We have tons of amazing content, Tom. Great interviews with all the, local politicians, just great people around the state, around North Georgia. So just check us out over there. Give us a subscribe, like, comment, share, and subscribe as well so you don't miss a single bit of information here on the Martha Zoller Show. And, of course, hosted today by Tom Smiley.
Well, thank you so much. That's why you are the extraordinary producer. All right, let's jump on the show. By the way, Emory Dunahoo is coming in just a moment. Last week we had We had Representative Lee Hawkins. We had Senator Drew Eccles. Today we have Representative Emory Dunahoo coming by for just a moment or two. But before we do that, and before I go to the break, I want you to listen to this soundbite. I just wanted to start it off today's show with this because this is really something that all of us must pay attention to. You wonder what's going to happen to America. Well, you know what? I mean, it's not guaranteed that we're always going to be successful and safe. We have to be involved. And one place we need to be involved in is with our schools and in our education systems. And I'm telling you, I am a strong proponent of school choice, not because I'm against public schools. I am a public school person. My children were all raised in public schools. My mom was involved in public schools and kindergarten. So I am not against public schools. I am just for more school choice. Let the parents decide what's best for the children and let the money follow the student. How hard can that be? So here's a very important audio clip I want to start off today's show with because it tells you how important it is that we keep an eye on our education system.
What would you do if you wanted to bring down America? You couldn't do it militarily. I think you might think about our education system. Could we possibly infiltrate the teacher unions and the public schools so that we can indoctrinate the children? Could we gain control of the media, of Hollywood, so that we could change the culture of the people? Should we do everything we can to destroy the American family?
That's Ben Carson. Wonderful, wonderful soundbite. He talks about the value of keeping an eye on your education system, keeping an eye on the other systems of our culture. And by the way, I heard someone make a prediction. You know, you have all these prediction shows now, yesterday and today, about what's coming in 2026. And last night, I heard someone make a prediction that Americans would start listening less to Hollywood types. I hope that prediction does come true. But Ben Carson says it right. You know, he's a really bright man. He's a retired neurosurgeon. He's an author. He is a government official. You know, he served as the 17th United States Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. So he is a really wonderful guy and very smart. And he nails it with that brief quote. All right, it's 9:14. I've got some other stuff for you. Let me do the Senator Josh's comments real quick, extraordinary producer, because we'll take a break first and we'll come back and do that. So I've got a great soundbite for you. With all this yan going on about we shouldn't be tearing down the West Wing or the East Wing or whatever it is, and we shouldn't be building the ballroom. Well, the Democrats are all of a sudden changing their tune now as opposed to what they were for several years ago. I'm telling you what, this is very insightful what I'm going to share with you, and we'll do it right after this break. You're listening to Tom Smiley on The Martha Zoller Show.
What you see is what you get. I call it like I see it. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, ladies and gentlemen. We have always believed that on this radio program.
It's Todd Starnes, weekdays at noon on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Does your office technology slow your team down? Nothing is more frustrating than printers that jam, copiers that won't connect, and service providers that don't follow through. You and your team deserve technology that works. I'm Matt Nick, president of Duplicating Products, and for over 50 years, we've helped North Georgia offices eliminate bottlenecks, reduce downtime, and get reliable support for office technology. Our promise, we do what we say we will do. If you're tired of office equipment headaches, it's time for a change. Visit us today at duplicatingproducts.com.
Hello, Gainesville. This is Carol with the Spa on Green Street. The holidays are quickly approaching, and we are ready for you to come in and shop in our boutique at the Spa on Green Street. We've even put together some special baskets that you can just pick up and go. So don't forget about the Spa on Green Street for your holiday needs. Who in the world at this place and time doesn't need to melt the stress away? So come see us at the spa or order your gift cards online at spaongreenstreet.com.
You wouldn't want someone you couldn't trust working on your family's HVAC and plumbing, So why would you call anyone but Gainesville Mechanical? They're your local, most trusted and award-winning HVAC and plumbing company in North Georgia. From maintenance appointments and clogged drains to plumbing emergencies and new system installations, their team is ready to serve you. And with their customer assurance maintenance plan, you can receive discounts, priority scheduling, and 24/7 no overtime rates. Gainesville Mechanical and Bryant, doing whatever it takes since 1989.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
10 athletes will face the toughest job interview in fitness that will push past physical and mental breaking points. You are the fittest of the fit. Only one of you will leave here with an iFit contract for $250,000.
This is when mindset comes in.
Someone will be eliminated.
Pressure is coming down.
Trainer Games on Prime Video January 8th. Watch the trailer on trainergames.com.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, positive test results for rabies have been reported from Coyote in Beaufort over the past weekend. Details at Access WDUN and coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
It's the Martha Zoller Show, presented by Gainesville Mechanical, from the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
All right, welcome back. So happy to have you on the Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley, filling in for Martha. I won't be back until next year, a few times. I look forward to you joining me then. Well, today I just want to wrap up some stuff because I started Friday. And, of course, came in here with, 50 pages of show prep for Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I'm just now getting down to the bottom of the stack. So we're going to call this the Hodgepodge Day. What is a hodgepodge anyway? What does that word mean, hodgepodge?
It's like a group of just kind of a cluster of items, you know? That's kind of what I get, just things kind of thrown together like a jambalaya, you know? Just throw everything in there into a pot.
Jambalaya. Isn't that a Walt Disney movie, jambalaya?
No, that's Jumanji. We're getting close, though.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Jambalaya, jamamaji, it's all the same to me. But anyway, it's a hodgepodge day, so I want to bring back some stuff that I had prepared for Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and today I hadn't gotten to yet. So we're going to do that. And after my time with Representative Emory Dunahoo, we're going to kind of jump into some audio bites. I've got some interesting audio for you about some of the dumb things that people have said over the years. I shan't name them right now, but I will let you hear them for yourself. I mean, these are really some stupid things people have said. And I want you to hear them from the horse's mouth, as they say, as well as some quotes I'll give you from some things that people have said over the years. But right now, as I make the transition to my friend Emory Dunahoo, let me just let you listen to this brief segment from Josh Hawley, Senator. He really doesn't back up on anybody. And so they're coming to him whining and crying about how the ballroom is destroying some historical significance of the White House. But Josh Hawley throws it right back at them, and you can't hardly refute it.
Josh Hawley made the best point. Y'all want to take down statues and talk to us about history?
Yeah, it is.
Watch.
I hear all of a sudden from my liberal friends that they're very concerned about our history. Really? These are the same people who tore down every statue they could get their hands on in the last 4 years. Christopher Columbus, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt. They didn't have any concern for history then. Now all of a sudden, the facade of the East Wing is iconic. How can you break?
Well, you just can't refute that. So you're whining and crying about what's being torn down around the White House grounds. But you weren't whining and crying when people were tearing down statues and historical monuments all over our country a few years ago. See, it just bothers me that people don't pay attention and they just don't stay consistent. You know, one of the greatest things someone ever said about me, and it was not meant as a compliment because it came from a very liberal, left-leaning person, but this person said, I will tell you this, Tom Smiley, I don't agree with anything you say. But I will say you're the most consistent man I've ever met. And I take that as a compliment. Speaking of consistency, I've got my friend Emory Dunahoo with us. Emory, Representative Dunahoo, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, sir, and you are consistent. I get tickled every time I hear you're going to be on because it's like the kids come in and you left them out a little early this morning and all that. But, no, I'm blessed, recovering from major shoulder surgery, and I've got to have the other one done right after session. I have about 10% usage of my right arm, but I'm blessed.
Yeah. They've worn you down there at the Capitol, haven't they?
They have. I don't stand in line. And say yes, yes, yes. I stand in line and question some things.
Yeah, you sure do. That's been your history, and I appreciate you so much. A lot of people love you and appreciate you. Well, today we'll finish through this break, and then he'll stay with me for a segment or two because I want to talk to him. You've announced your retirement, correct?
One more year, yes, sir.
One more year. So after this term, you're done.
I'm done.
And you'll start back in January here.
That is correct. Yes,
so
sir.
Real quick, Emory, just tell us what led to that decision because you've been serving for a while. You've been very effective. People love you. You've got elected in numerous different ways. I mean, they've changed your district. They've tried to. We won't go into that. But tell us about what led to your decision.
A lot of prayer, basically. We've gone through my right shoulder. I had fell on my farm and tore the rotator cuff completely. Joint had jammed up against the shoulder bone, and it just was tolerable. However, my left arm, we had major surgery. They were going to replace it, and one doctor said he could fix it with a 4-hour surgery. The prayers we had was, Lord, if all this comes together and I can still do my job physically and I can be on the phone, I can handle situations, let them tell me. And 3 of my good doctor friends said, we want you to stay here. However, we've got to take care of you first. So the left shoulder is repairing, is doing pretty well, about 75%. The right shoulder isn't. And because of that, I was working on some back issues that I can't do until after I have the shoulder surgeries put in place. So it's kind of the health issues were making sure that I took care of myself first. Yeah. And that's why, because if it's not my seat. I have to tell people that. I didn't run as a politician. I've corrected everybody that calls me a politician. I did not need a paycheck. I did not need to move up the ladder to be called Mr. Chairman or Miss Chairman or Mr. this or that. I'm Emory Dunahoo, and that's the reason I serve.
Well, tell me some of the things that, and we'll get to the present session coming up, but just kind of off the top of your mind, looking back over, how many years total in the House?
This will be 15.
So 15 years in the House. Any particular legislation that you really got behind and supported and advocated for that you're really most pleased about?
Thank you for asking. We were blessed. Doug Collins, my first year, and I tell this story when I speak to a lot of people and probably don't have time today, but the conversion of a Democrat to a Republican that changed a lot of what we did in the House. His name was Doug McKillop. He was the smart attorney that killed us on every bill we could come up with on pro-life.
Right.
Not pro-life when most people are lukewarm. They truly aren't pro-life. And what happened was he, in our Bible study, he came in, he watched us continuously and said, I can't believe what you guys pray for each other, and you do. So when he changed, we passed a bill called the Fetal Pain Bill.
Right, I remember.
Then after that, they were holding up for reasons that stupidity happens in Atlanta and Washington. The Heartbeat Bill. Good friend Ed Setzler was behind it, and I pretty much stepped on a lot of people's toes, never worried about that. Why can't we do what's right? And a lot of people jumped on board. We passed the Heartbeat Bill. I have a bill now that is the Equal Protection Act bill. It says life starts at conception. Why are we murdering the unborn child for the sins of the father or the sins of the, I call it a little different.
Right.
It's not a father in the house. That's a bill I have also. But I was the one every day that stood up in caucus and asked why we could not understand the difference between men and women, boys playing girls' sports. We couldn't get it over the line, and then when Speaker Burns came on, he said, we're going to get this done, and he did. He did several things that we couldn't get across the finish line. We also had a bill that stated a mom could not change the sex of a child until that child was 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was we couldn't get that across for 6 years. Speaker Burns stepped in, and we passed that bill because we were having so many people confused as transgenders. You and I know it's only male and female, but with that, they were so far along mentally with changing their bodies, wanting to change back, or changing their bodies where they realized they could never go back. And we passed that bill, and boys and girls sports was big. That was a big bill. And I've been blessed to carry a lot of other bills that the state of Georgia, all the property we own, I carry the bills for easement rights. I carry the bill to sell government property. And those bills I've done most of the time as vice chairman of state properties. Been blessed to carry other bills for different organizations. Like one of them you'll love me and hate me on. I was one that passed the bill that says that if you charge something on a credit card in my business, you have to pay 3.5%. I have no problem with that. I use a credit card for everything. If it comes to making a cash decision, I make that decision, not, I'm forced to do. But those are a lot of the bills. We have a bill we talked about with Martha, HB 300, and this is the tax predator bill, the one that where we have certain people and they're taking advantage of people by loaning them money, and then it's almost like loan sharks. However, no one ever forces to come in and make them do it. They just have no other choice.
Well, I'm so happy you stopped by, and you're going to stay with me for another segment. I want to ask you now. I want to look, to the future and ask you this upcoming session. I've had Representative Hawkins and Senator Eccles on this week. We talked about like data centers, property tax, income tax relief, some of those things. So agriculture, tourism. So I want to talk to you about some of those things. I know you know about them. So you stay tuned. If you have a question for Representative Dunahoo, text me 770-535-2911, and I'll try my best to ask him. Okay? We'll be right back. You're listening to The Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley.
For more than 20 years, the Georgia-based ministry of Moyo Missions has been making a difference in Uganda, Bolivia, and Brazil. This is Mike Martin from Milton Martin Toyota. Moyo, which means heart in the African language, was formerly known as Helping Hands Ministries. Their goal is to demonstrate the compassionate love of Jesus by investing in children and families living in the most vulnerable communities of the world. Ambassadors provide nutritious meals, medical care, basic necessities, and through the process of quality education, they give needy children the tools and pathways that they need in order to grow themselves and improve their communities. Please join us in changing lives through the power of the gospel. Each month, for less than the cost of 5 fast food lunches, you can sponsor a needy child. For more information, please visit moyo.org today.
Todd Starnes here for the folks at Extreme Clean Auto Spa, where keeping your car clean is easy and affordable. Extreme Clean keeps your car looking great with the touch-free car wash at their Brownsbridge Road location. Plus, they make it affordable with monthly memberships for less than the price of 2 washes, and it's good for 1 wash per day. Now, that's what I call a great value. So keep your car clean without cleaning out your wallet. Visit Extreme Clean on Brownsbridge Road and just off White Sulphur Road in Gainesville. Veteran owned and operated. It's Extreme Clean Auto Spa.
Seems to be as many superstitions about the new year as there are days on the calendar. An Irish superstition says that banging a loaf of stale bread against the walls will bring you a plentiful year. Nice, but I think I'd rather use it to make a sandwich. Hey, it's Bill Main, hoping your resolution for 2026 is to start your day with me, Steve, and Logan on Mornings on Main Street, here on North Georgia's News Talk.
WDUN Gainesville, WDUN FM Clarksville, Gainesville. Always here, always local.
It's 9:30.
Fox
News, I'm Therese Crowley. Countdown to 2026. Arriving first in New Zealand and New York City's security lockdown in Times Square was the earliest in memory. Police choppers and metal pens up before the sun for hundreds of thousands jamming in now to watch the crystal ball drop. Followed moments later by the swearing in of socialist Mayor Zoran Mamdani downtown. The Trump administration is freezing federal child care funding in Minnesota as Homeland Security investigates the Smiley fraud scandal, estimated at $9 billion. Things to do by midnight. Make your last charity donations for the year. Good for a tax deduction. This year gives better tax benefits than next, especially for high earners before a new 0.5% adjusted gross income floor kicks in for itemizers. But at least we're promised best tax refund year yet. America's listening to Fox News.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, I'm Steve Winslow. Several residential and structure fires reported in Northeast Georgia over the last 24 hours, including where Jackson County and State Fire Marshal's investigators are searching for leads from a fatal Tuesday morning fire, as WDUN's Logan Landers explains.
Commerce Fire and Police Departments were aided by Jackson County, Maysville, and Nicholson Fire Departments to a call at 100 Laura Lane after 6:20 a.m. Tuesday. Crews arrived to find heavy smoke and flames from inside the single-family home as neighbors advised them that a male resident lived alone and was believed to be inside. Commerce Fire personnel then located the unidentified male victim inside, who was later pronounced dead by Jackson EMS. No other injuries were reported, but the cause for the fire remains unknown.
Also, one person was life-flighted this morning to a hospital for burn injuries following a White County mobile home fire. This happened on the 3000 block of Highway 255 North near Sawtee just after 3 a.m. Due to the severity of the occupant's injuries, White County officials say the patient was airlifted to Grady Memorial Hospital in Atlanta for treatment, with the fire extinguished by 6:30 this morning. Cause still under Georgia State Fire Marshal's Office investigation. You'll have more news on other fires from the area with fatal results, as well as other news items, by going to Access WDUN. Now, here's your Access WDUN forecast from meteorologist Holly Strano.
Good Wednesday morning, North Georgia. Happy New Year's Eve. Mostly sunny skies continue. Highs this afternoon in the low 50s. Mostly clear skies this evening and overnight. Lows will be in the mid to upper 30s. From the Access WDUN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Holly Strano.
In Mount Airy, 27 degrees, Commerce 30, and in Gainesville 29. From North Georgia's News Talk AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Hey there, it's Cody Lovin, owner of Crawlspace Medic. Is your crawlspace giving you trouble? Maybe it's moisture, structural issues, or even foul odors? Don't worry, my team and I, we've seen it all. At Crawlspace Medic, we specialize in crawlspace repairs, encapsulations, and basement waterproofing, ensuring your home's foundation stays solid and protected. We're all about delivering top-notch service you can trust with solutions that last. Give me a call at 706-410-2400 or visit crawlspacemedic.com for a free evaluation.
They say it's hard to find things that are built to last. That may be true for some things, but not for metal roofing from Dawsonville Metal. Metal roofing can last up to 50 years. Now that's quite an improvement from traditional asphalt shingles. But more than durable, metal roofing from Dawsonville Metal is also fire and impact resistant. Plus you get all the quality and durability for about the same cost as a shingled roof. Talk to Justin Odom at Dawsonville Metal Products at 706-265-3099 or log on to dawsonvillemetal.com.
Use the Access WDUN Talk and Text line, presented by M&R Rental at 770-535-2911, and be part of the conversation. From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville, it's the Martha Zoller Show on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
All right, welcome back to the Martha Zoller Show. I'm Tom Smiley, filling in for Martha. Representative Emory Dunahoo is with us today. So happy to have him. A lot of respect for him, as I mentioned earlier. I mean, these representatives, I've known them for many of them over 30 years, and they're my friends. I mean, do I agree with them all the time? No, they don't agree with me all the time. But I'm going to tell you, Lee Hawkins and Drew Eccles and Emory Dunahoo, they're good people. and I am grateful for their service. And we're going to miss Emory. Got several questions we'll get to just a minute. You're really flooding my phone with questions, 770-535-2911. So I won't get to all of them. I'll try to get to the ones that might be of most interest to everyone. Let's begin with this question because we've touched on it with Representative Hawkins and with Drew Eccles, so we'll continue that pattern. Talk to me about property tax relief versus income tax. Do we want to do away with income tax? Do we want to do away with property tax? One or the other or both? Tell me about that discussion.
Tom, I've started. This will be my 15th year talking about this. I've continuously spoke about property tax is criminal. I have nobody show up when I come to add something to my property or build or whatever. They charge me more tax. And with that, there's a handful of people that pay it, and then there's a lot more that doesn't pay it. One of the processes we've looked at in the last 5 years, 3.5 years, we've dropped the state income tax down 6. We will drop it to $4.99. We're trying to do away with the state income tax. You have to come back with something to replace it. On the property tax, my idea is that you come in with a sales tax, for instance, like we have Splash, et cetera. I have no problem paying 10 cents on a dollar, even 11 cents, because if I don't spend money every day like a lot of people do, or other people that come in from other states and tour Georgia, let them pay for it. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, if we look at, and I owned 4 companies. I was debt-free at 35, and everything I own, companies own. With that, I understand how it works. So you take 2.25 pennies, and you put that for education. And over 5 years, they have to kind of live within their means. And then after 5 years, they have a surplus of money. They can build whatever or do whatever they need within their programs. Mm-hmm. Stop building Taj Mahals. Mm-hmm. Start building Dollar Generals. Mm-hmm. That's what we need to look at. Mm-hmm. Now, with that, the school tax is 61 to 64% of our tax bill.
Right.
It's 53.9 of our state budget.
Mm-hmm.
So not picking on schools, just saying we need a little bit more common sense. So if you look at that, then you have to look at, well, what about public service? Our policemen, our firemen, people that we really need, you do. And these numbers aren't perfectly there because I haven't had the opportunity to break everything down for every region and, and municipality. So with that, you look at 1 3/4 pennies for that. In a 5-year period, you buy patrol cars, you buy a fire truck, you buy what you need, and the money's there. Mm-hmm. And there's a system as they're touring around. We have several senators that are looking at doing away with the state income tax. We can do it in 3 years. We can't just wave a wand, but we can do it in 3 years. But what we have to do is, I call it trial and effect. What I originally wanted to do to work on the fair tax was to say, okay, we're at 6%. What we'll do is drop it to 5. Mm-hmm. We'll raise the sales tax up a penny. We'll drop it to 4, raise it up a penny, drop it to 3, raise it up a penny until we get to 0. Now, where we're at, our problem is mine's a broad-based consumption tax. We have $34 billion in exemptions for corporations.
Yeah.
We need to stop that. We need to put that back in the coffer instead of taxpayers paying for these big companies to come in. I love being called 13 years in a row #1 place to do business, but every time something like that happens, there's sacrifice. Mm-hmm. Taxpayers are sacrificing. So that's something I've been 100%. We're looking at trying to do away with property tax, but you have different municipalities like Hall County and like in South Georgia, Sylvester, or down around Cairo, little towns like that. So you have to structure it to where their needs aren't as much as bigger counties. Mm-hmm. And that's what we need to look at. But every time we have a good plan we start on, it's been kind of dust under a rug.
Yeah.
So we need to get serious. Republicans run for office need to do what they say they're going to do.
Who is going to carry the mantle on these things, Emory? You've been so faithful. I know your pro-life position. I know your tax policies and stuff. And who's going to carry the Emory Dunahoo mantle after you're gone? Anybody up there that we might know?
There's a good man that I do know. He's running, Chad. He's in the insurance business and Bingham, and he's a good man. I mean, he's not going to be me. That doesn't mean a compliment or whatever. He will be himself. Mm-hmm. Tim Eccles, I've heard, is about to jump in the race. Tim's a good man, a good friend. But, I've got everybody always wanting me to endorse, and I'm honored they do, but I normally don't jump out to endorse someone unless it's somebody I really am going to get behind, like the mayor of Jefferson. And that changed, and people like that. So really, I don't know who would come in that's going to stand. I mean, I'm never the enemy of leadership. Our Speaker Burns has done a wonderful job, and I appreciate it. But I have to remind people from the governor down, I elect you. You don't elect me. And I don't come in the room and worry about if you're mad at me. You'll get over it. That's basically, no matter what, I'm going to respect whoever. I always have. But I'm not going to come in and bow down, and I never have and never will.
Tell me about, let's talk about school choice. That's a question we get a lot. I'm a proponent. Public education is fine. I'm a result of public education. My two sons are. My mother was in that system as a kindergarten teacher, so forth and so on. But I believe still, Representative Dunahoo, that there should be more school choice for parents, and I believe the money should follow the student. Y'all did get passed a couple of years ago, a school choice plan. I thought it was pretty weak, but I thought at the same time maybe it's a first step. I'm not seeing any second, third, and fourth steps coming in the pipeline, so I'm wondering where we are with school choice.
That's a great point. I fought for school choice many years, and it would always be, well, we'll look at it next year. We'll look at it next year. And it's frustrating when you look at that. However, what happened was we passed a very weak, as I told you, it's like putting hot water in a cup of coffee and putting 2 beans of coffee and saying, hey, we got a good cup of coffee. And I let my views be known, and Representative Jody Lott and I especially did. And we watered it down to where we should have the process of moving forward and saying, okay, taxpayers, they homeschool their kids. They have a choice to where, they can go to a private school. It costs a lot more money, but public education gets all the money. So what we need to do is let that money follow that child and that decision. And if so many children leave, the school has to understand how to negotiate through the budget. As we know, we have a lot of lobbyists. Lobbyists are people that make a lot of money, and they're good. But there are a lot of them, all they're worried about is making money.
Yeah.
And we need to toughen up, and we need to come up with, my good friend, Chairman Chris Irwin is the Chairman of Education. Our good friend Matt Dubnik's the Chairman of Appropriations there. We start with that. We need to start asking more questions. Why aren't we doing this? How can we do that?
Yeah.
Pro Tem Jan Jones. She's been faithful with parts of education, but it's time to get behind what's right for the whole state, not one little area here or one area there. And I don't ever mean to say anything. I'm not down on anybody. I'm just saying the question is, when are we going to step up and do what we should do? Education with the phones for kids. We took it out of the elementary schools, and now we're gently coming into the high schools to take the phones away. 225 kids from Jefferson 8th grade comes down every year. We get into the floor of the House. They're me, one of them. We're the speaker. We're everybody, and we teach them how to pass a bill out of the House, out of the Senate. 9 out of 10 bills get killed once they've heard it 5 times. That's their 8th grade mentality. They're not worried about making anybody happy. I'm giving them the floor to do what's right. 8th graders.
Yeah.
If 8th graders can do it, don't we think a bunch of grown adults should be able to pass things forward?
Yeah. Tell me about, let's talk about gambling, because this is an issue that a lot of people are interested in, horse racing, casinos, et cetera, et cetera. We had a question actually, I think it was Monday, from the Moms Against Gambling group or whatever. Where do you stand on that? What does it look like it's coming to Georgia? Is it in or out? What we see any action this year on that?
We see it every year. I've been a no from day one. And the reason I'm a no is not having people continuously say, well, it's my right. They elect me to go down with facts and make decisions, not just some want it and some don't want it. I have listened to some great arguments about what gambling would do. I have 22 pages of good. I have 198 pages of all the evil and bad it causes once it's allowed in. Every year we have more and more lobbyists that show up, more money to get other people to change their mind, and they want to start it like, well, let's just do it where you can just make a bet on your phone. And, hey, that's all we want to do. You and I know once you open that door, then next year, okay, hey, we're doing that, this. 4 to 5 years, it'll be here. Mm-hmm. It will be here because people are getting to the point, look, you can go to North Carolina and you can gamble. You can go to Mississippi. You can go certain places and gamble. We're losing that revenue. The revenue that it's going to bring in doesn't equal all the revenue for Gamblers Anonymous, the families that are broken up, and all the things that go with it.
We're talking to Emory Dunahoo, representative, and so happy to have him with us today. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to The Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley.
Wake up and speak up.
Wake up. Come on, wake up, America.
Join the conversation weekdays at 9 with The Martha Zoller Show on North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
I'm Frank Norton with the Norton Agency. Buying a home just got 10 times more complicated. You need a professional broker by your side to help you through the process. New buyer, seller regulations, lengthy contracts, the crazy mortgage process, inspections, appraisal, and then closing. You need Norton now more than ever. Call us at 770-532-0022 or look for us on the web at gonorton.com. Our family serving North Georgia for 4 generations.
If you need on-time expert plumbing service, Conditioned Air Systems is here for you. Our plumbers deliver the highest quality service in North Georgia 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. We've been North Georgia's source for elite residential and commercial services since 1983. Our licensed plumbers offer services for installation and repairs of pipes, water heaters, septic lines, and sump pumps. Choose Conditioned Air Systems for quality service and unmatched knowledge for your plumbing needs.
Waste Eliminator is a full-service waste management company, providing critical disposal, recycling, and environmental solutions for business and residential clients. From large-scale commercial projects to smaller residential cleanups, Waste Eliminator offers reliable dumpster rental service tailored to your needs. Whether you're tackling a renovation, new construction, or even a simple home cleanout, Waste Eliminator will manage the waste efficiently and sustainably. Visit online at wasteeliminator.com.
It's getting cooler, and that means those outdoor pests want to be indoor residents. While a tube of caulk goes a long way to keep them out, Select Pest Control can make sure they don't leave alive. Select can put down a residual barrier that keeps the pest out. And if you want to do it yourself, they'll put the right product into your hands and make sure you know how to use it. Find out more at selectpest.net, or better yet, visit the Select store at 1786 Browns Bridge Road and tell them Todd Stern sent you.
You've got meals to plan, children to ferry from practice to ball games, shopping and dusting, and good grief. Give yourself a break and take your laundry to Townview Coin Laundry. Take your comforters, quilts, blankets, and mattress covers. They'll wash, dry, and fold your laundry, or you can use their industrial-sized machines. Townview Coin Laundry saves wear and tear on your washer and dryer and on you, too. Get the stains out at Townview Coin Laundry at the corner of Bradford Street and College Avenue in downtown Gainesville, open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet newsroom, a new legislative session for Georgia is approaching, and a pair of area leaders discuss their top issues for 2026. Details at Access WDUN and coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
It's the Martha Zoller Show, presented by Gainesville Mechanical, from the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
All right, welcome back to the Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley, filling in for Martha. I won't see you again until next year, but that comes sooner than you think. All right, so look, coming up after we get conclude our time with Senator Representative Dunahoo, in the 10 o'clock segment, I've got some great audio for you. Listen, I've worked like 3 hours this morning to put this together. I want you to hear it. It's audio from people in their own words of just some stupid stuff that's been said. I mean, just lunacy. Like, for instance, you'll hear Al Gore say he invented the internet. Or, like, for instance, you'll hear Hank Johnson concerned about, the buildup in Guam might capsize the island. Just stuff like that you'll just shake your head. And I thought, well, that'd be a good way to end out this year, is just to be reminded of the stupid, crazy lunacy that we often sometime have to put up with. All right. Well, listen, we're talking to Representative Emory Dunahoo. He's been in the House for many years. He's served faithfully. Like I say to my friends when I leave them at the Longstreet coffee table, I love you all. I love you all, just some more than others. So I'm sure at the Capitol, Representative Dunahoo, there's going to be some to miss you, some more than others.
You're exactly right. I just noted the big truck pulled up here with cases of Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies.
Oh wow,
for you.
yeah, that's what we need. Go out there and grab a few there, extraordinary producer. All right, let's talk about data centers, because there's an energy component and there's a water component. And I don't really understand how these large data centers work. I've got to look into that more, I suppose. But in our own community, we've had a recent debate about it. Tell me what you know about data centers and what you think the future is and how Georgia is going to respond to the need.
You know, it's like we project anything we're going to build, anything we're going to do in a business. I had to project what the income would be, what it would grow to. And, you know, that's the same thing with the data center. It is continuously running power nonstop. It has to be cooled. When you come in, it's not a lot of people that are employees, but it is a process that it uses a ton of electricity, and it depends on it uses quite a bit of water. But then you have water that you lose so many thousand gallons a day you do not bring back. You have water that is gray water that can come in and you can use it on spraying your grass, your bushes, whatever around. Now, we have the power problem that people are looking at. What if a company comes in and they leave? Now they have to build grids. That means a power company comes in and builds a grid. That grid costs X amount of dollars. So Jackson EMC had come up with a plan that stated, well, in Hall County, they would have to put a bond up, whoever the people were, investors, et cetera, $2.5 to $4 billion to protect the taxpayer. That was smart. That means they have to put it up. If they default, leave, big warehouse or whatever, then we're not holding the bag. With that, I would think you would go on, and every year you'd have to extend it. Depending after the first year or second year, now you understand what it completely does, what assets it will have, what disabilities it's going to bring to our county. One of the strong processes is eliminating property tax, because they will take the burden of all the property tax, which means it could be 70% or 80%, and it decreases our property tax. That's good. Everybody's afraid that it's going to come in and it's going to destroy all of our natural resources. You see Lake Lanier's at a drought now.
Yeah.
We have that about every 5 to 8 years. And when you're looking at it, it's kind of concerning what water it could take out. But you have to put stipulations. After you have this, something has to happen. We can't keep destroying our natural resource for a business. That business maybe will have to say, well, we'll have to shut up and leave. You know, we can't just continuously allow the money to drive things that do, you know, cripple us in Hall County. And that could be a part, but I think basically we're going to get it no matter what eventually.
How many of these large data centers are we talking about as a possibility for the state of Georgia? I mean, are you talking about 5 or 15 or 30? I mean, what numbers are we looking at?
You know, and I've only heard this, and I always tell people I heard is usually the beginning of a lie. But I have heard consistently somewhere between 28 and 35 throughout the state.
Wow.
Some of the South Georgia towns where everybody wants them can't really sustain them as much. You have Clark Hill, which is a big area in the eastern side of Georgia, Augusta, in that area, 72,000 acres of lake. Above that, you have Lake Russell, that is 18,000. Above that, you have Lake Hartwell, that is 56,000.
Right.
So you have 3 reservoirs there that could sustain several in that area. We have Lake Lanier, which is 36,000 acres. So we have a lot of water here, but you do not want to come and all of a sudden destroy our lake that we've had since 1957 for things that we still don't really fully understand.
We got a couple of minutes left before we take our break. I'm so happy to have Representative Emory Dunahoo. Maybe the last time I have him, because I'll be on the show several times next year, and maybe some things will come up during the session. We'll bring you in on for your goodbye tour, your farewell tour. But real quick, what can you say from a state perspective about immigration? Are we okay in Georgia with that? I mean, we gonna see ICE showing up all across Georgia?
Personally, I think that we have a bigger problem than we've ever let on. And with that, we have our poultry industry that brings in tons of the people that have to work. They have to fulfill jobs. To me, I've always said, and I dealt with that industry through my logistics business and everything. I hauled a lot of poultry. We have to hold people accountable. That means if you bring people in, you should have your HR department documenting who's here. They should go through the process of making sure they're legal with a green card or whatever. That means you fill out paperwork. There is work involved, and there's a time they have to renew it or go back. Unfortunately, we haven't done that. They should be covering insurance through them by taking out a certain amount of money from them to where they have to have insurance, and just going down a checklist. If you drive a car, you got to have car insurance. We have accidents continuously with the illegals. So that's increased our insurance on our automobiles and everything. But I think, and I'm not throwing on the poultry industry, we have agriculture, which is number one in Georgia. We have the same thing there where if nobody's going to pick the crops out of the field, somebody has to. And Drew's in that. He understands that. And I'm not saying I have no clue if Jay Moore has any that's illegal or not, but he has to depend on people to get the crops out of the field, as agriculture throughout Georgia does. I just think that our bigger corporations need to be a little bit more understanding of how they have people here and let everybody know about it. But we have people here that shouldn't be here.
Well, so glad to have you stop by, man. You look good.
Pleasure.
Hope your shoulders work out well for you. I know you're a little bit of pain there. Thanks for coming by. You go physical therapy next,
yes,
and then do you move on then to mental therapy, or you already had that for today? Or?
The mental therapy will probably take several years from 15 years of being in the situation.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
Exactly right. Well, hey, we love you. God bless you. You've always been a straight shooter, and I just hope things go well for you. I'm going to ask you this real quick about 30 seconds. Have you endorsed anyone for other state elected positions? And if you have, who are they?
Pretty simple. Burt Jones for our governor. I have reached out for him. I have great friends that are running for lieutenant governor, and they're all my good friends. So it's hard to pick one, and then the others, they're like, wow, man, what happened? Attorney General, Cowser's a good friend. Strickland's a good friend.
Thank you, Emory Dunahoo. God bless you. Thank you for stopping by today. I look forward to talking to you again. We'll be right back. Don't miss the next segment. You're going to love it. We'll be right back. You're listening to The Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley.
When you have a problem with your roof, you want someone who can respond quickly, but also who knows roofing. That's what you get at Georgia Select Roofing. This is Chris Earls, and we do roofing right. Estimates are free, we can help you navigate your insurance claim, and we also offer financing. Check out our Google reviews, and you'll see that Georgia Select Roofing offers the best service around. See us today at georgiaselectroofing.com or call us at 678-316-6899. Family owned and operated, Georgia Select Roofing has you covered.
10 athletes will face the toughest job interview in fitness that will push past physical and mental breaking points. You are the fittest of the fit. Only one of you will leave here with an iFit contract for $250,000.
This is when mindset comes in.
Someone will be eliminated.
Pressure is coming down.
Trainer Games on Prime Video January 8th. Watch the trailer on trainergames.com.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beat when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
WDUN Gainesville, WDUN FM Clarksville, Gainesville. Always here, always local.
It's 10 o'clock.
It's midnight on the other side of the world. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. So they're celebrating the new year in Japan and South Korea. 2026 is already a few hours old in Australia and New Zealand, while crowds gather in New York City.
Around 1 million people are expected to gather to watch the ball drop. Police have been preparing for days to ensure Times Square will be as safe as possible. And for the first time ever, the NYPD is even employing a secondary security screening this year. The extra precaution comes just weeks after 4 terror suspects were arrested in California. The FBI saying agents foiled a plot to attack logistics centers across the LA area.
That's Fox's Todd Pyro. National Guard troops are part of bolstered security in New Orleans after the terror attack during the celebration a year ago, killing 14 people. The federal government is withholding child care payments from Minnesota amid a multi-billion-dollar fraud investigation. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt tells Fox it's
something the Trump administration has been working on since day one. And since Nick Shirley's journalism really brought this issue further to light, we have surged resources across the board to the state.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, a Democrat, says he's been cracking down on fraudsters for years, accusing the Trump administration of politicizing the issue. President Trump's vetoed the first 2 bills of his second term. One was a bipartisan project to provide drinking water to communities in Colorado. He called it unreliable and expensive.
Traditionally a staunch ally, Republican Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert criticizing the veto, calling the bill completely non-controversial. President Trump has criticized Colorado leaders for not releasing his ally Tina Peters from jail. The White House says the president also vetoed a measure to spend $14 million to protect an area known as the Osceola Camp located near the Florida Everglades National Park.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz. America's listening to Fox News.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, I'm Steve Winslow, and several residential and structure fires have been reported throughout northeast Georgia over the last 24 hours, including in Jackson County, where state fire marshals investigators are working with commerce authorities for leads behind a fatal Tuesday morning fire. WDUN's Lawson Smith reports.
Commerce Fire and police departments were aided by Jackson County, Maysville, and Nicholson fire departments to a call at 100 Laurel Lane after 6:20 a.m. Tuesday. Crews arrived to find heavy smoke and flames from inside the single-family home as neighbors advised them that a male resident lived alone and was believed to be inside. Commerce Fire personnel then located the unidentified male victim inside, who was later pronounced dead by Jackson EMS. No other injuries were reported, but the cause of the fire remains unknown.
Also, a residential fire in Hall County severely damaged a home and 3 vehicles Tuesday night, with Hall County Fire Rescue responding to the 4100 block of Topsail Ridge at around 7:30 p.m. They arrived to find heavy fire conditions in and above the garage. That fire reportedly extending into the attic space above the garage. 3 vehicles engulfed in flames and later towed by a wrecker, while 2 adults and 2 children exited the home without any injuries. Meanwhile, one person was life-flighted to a hospital for burn injuries following an early morning mobile home fire in White County today, as the crews responded to the 3000 block of Highway 255 North near Sawtee just after 3 a.m. Initial 911 call indicated all occupants had escaped, with one resident sustaining burns. Due to the severity of the occupant's injuries, that patient airlifted to Grady Hospital in Atlanta for treatment. Fire was extinguished by 6:30 a.m., the cause under investigation with the Georgia State Fire Marshal's Office. 7 people displaced after a Tuesday afternoon fire in Hall County. More from WDUN's William Daughtry.
Hall County Fire Rescue reports that at around 2:30 p.m. they were called to Stringer Road for a residential fire. Units discovered a 2-story home on fire and began to attack the flames from outside and inside the home. The bulk of the fire was extinguished quickly, and the American Red Cross was notified for the 4 adults and 3 children displaced. The cause remains under investigation by the Hall County Fire Marshal's Office.
And a new legislative session is right around the corner, and Access WDUN spoke with local legislators, Senator Drew Eccles and House Majority Leader Chuck Evstration, to get a pulse on the top issues of the session, noting that affordability was a key priority. More details and more news online at Access WDUN. Now here's your Access WDUN Wednesday forecast.
Good morning, North Georgia. Happy New Year's Eve. Mostly sunny skies. Highs this afternoon in the low 50s. Mostly clear skies overnight. Lows will be in the mid to upper 30s. From the Access WDUN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Holly Strano.
In Mulberry, 32 degrees. In Tiger, 28. And in Gainesville, 30. From North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Looking for real farm fresh meat? At Potts Family Meats, we bring you beef the way it's meant to be. Raised locally, cut fresh, and packed with the quality only a family operation can deliver. From thick, juicy steaks to tender roast and the freshest ground beef in town, Potts Family Meats brings the farm straight to your table. No shortcuts, no long-distance shipping, just honest, homegrown beef you can trust. Stop in today and taste the difference or shop online at pottsbrosfarm.com to schedule your delivery. Potts Family Meats, farm fresh, family proud, always local.
We're talking with Mike Robertson of Oakwood Tire and more. And Mike, I understand you guys are going to be moving. Where are you headed?
We're going to move to 3440 Mabry Road, which is right off of Mountain View.
Still offering the same services?
We won't be doing alignments, but we'll be doing tires. Tires, brakes, batteries, tune-ups, those kind of things that normal maintenance repair.
Sounds good. Give us the address one more time. Make sure we don't miss out.
You can find us at 3440 Mabry Road at oakwoodtire.com or even the same phone number, 770-535-0943.
From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville, it's the Martha Zoller Show. Talking the issues and filling in for Martha, it's Dr. Tom Smiley on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN. Always here, always local.
All righty. Call your friend, call your neighbor, call your peer. I mean, you don't want to miss these, okay? So we're going to end up this year with some dumbest things ever said. Of course, now being a person who's used words for the last 43 years, I've said a lot of stupid things. I know I have. I freely admit it. I've said some crazy things. I've mispronounced a lot of words. But I just think this is kind of funny. So we're going to do this for the next little while. Bill Crane may call in here around 10:15. If he does, we'll take that call because I got some questions asked him. But, I'm just going to give you some of these. These are not in any particular order, but this may be I don't know what this man was thinking. This is Hank Johnson, Georgia politician, questioning a vice admiral, I believe it was, or maybe it was Admiral Robert Willard. And I'm thinking that Admiral Willard is just sitting there thinking, give me an ice pick and let me just jab my head over listening to this person. I can't believe Hank Johnson said this, but you hear it for yourself.
This is a island that at its widest level is 12 miles from shore to shore, and at its smallest level or smallest location, it's 7 miles between one shore and the other. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
Very small island, and about 24 miles, if I recall, long. So 24 miles long, about 7 miles wide at the least widest place on the island, and about 12 miles wide on the widest part of the island. And
give me an ice pick. The Admiral is saying, give me an ice pick.
Miles, that is. Do you happen to know?
I don't have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that.
We don't anticipate that. Give me an ice pick. Let me jam my head with it. Goodness gracious. Well, that's one. There's a little bit more to that, extraordinary producer. Do you still have it? Listen to the ending.
Guam population, I think, currently about 175,000, and again, with 8,000 Marines and their families, it's an addition of about 25,000 more into the population.
The whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
I can't imagine. I mean, having said that once, why you would? I mean, if it's a gaffe, as they say, just kind of move on. I just can't believe it. Here's one that I want you to listen to that makes me mad. This is not funny. This is really sad. This is a very prominent congressional member who knows better, but he's more for party than for country because he's more about his agenda than about what's true. And when he said this to Kristi Noem during a congressional hearing just a few weeks or months ago, boy, it set me off, and it set her off too. Listen to this.
Madam Secretary, you and the gentleman from NCTC reference the unfortunate accident that occurred with the National Guardsman being killed.
You think that was an unfortunate accident?
I mean,
it was a terrorist attack.
Wait. Look, I'll get it straight. Then you can
He shot our National Guardsman in the head.
Look, Mr. Chairman, will you direct the witness to allow me to ask my question? It was an unfortunate situation.
I don't know how Kristi Noem was able to sit there. I don't. This man referenced the murder and attempted murder of National Guards soldiers. They were shot in the head. And he referenced it as an unfortunate accident. I mean, even if it was a gaffe, even if he did mess up, he could have come back with a much more powerful statement than, well, hold on, I'll get it right. Unfortunate incident. Who are these people? I think Napoleon was correct when he said, in politics, stupidity is not a handicap. I mean, I think the old Napoleon was right. When it comes to politics, for some of these people, stupidity is not a handicap. Here's one from Nancy Pelosi. Do you remember this?
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Do that again. Do that one more time.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
I can't. Who says things like that? You have to pass the bill before you can find out what's in it? All right, one more before our break. This is one of my favorite ones. This goes way back into the vault, but I wanted you to hear it.
The initiative in creating the internet.
We still need highways and water lines, but we also need communications lines that can allow us to take advantage of the high-performance computers.
I had that's Al Gore reminding us that he was very much responsible with inventing the internet. Thank you. Napoleon said, and I quote, "In politics, stupidity is not a handicap." And you've just heard several examples that bears that out as truth. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and I've got some more of these for you. I'm having fun with them today. This is the last day of 2025. I wanted to round it up with having some fun. So I've got some more of these and some great quotes from you as well. I mean, some quotes. Like, for instance, I'll give you a quote. The Alaskan governor, Walter Hickel, once justified the plan to kill hundreds of wolves by saying, "You just can't let nature run wild." Or good old Strom Thurmond. You remember old Strom Thurmond back in the day? He said, the U.S. Senate is a special place. I love all of you, especially your wives. Go. You get after it, Strom. What was he, 120,000 when he died? And then here's one of my favorite ones, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said, I don't understand how they can call me anti-Latino. Listen, here it comes. Wait for it. When I've made 4 movies in Mexico. Holy moly. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley. We'll have Bill Crane hopefully in a little while and some more of your calls, text, and your participation. You stay tuned.
Keeping you up to date with the latest news and weather. It's what we do every day.
It's the news I trust.
North Georgia's News Talk. AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN. Always here, always local.
Hey, Daddy, what's in a crawl space?
That's a good question, Annie. I'm Cody Lovin with Crawl Space Medic. Musty smells, dampness, and sagging insulation means your crawl space or basement might need some attention. Our team quickly finds and fixes moisture problems, updates moisture barriers, and resolves structural issues, ensuring your home stays dry and comfortable. Don't let your crawl space problems affect your comfort, air quality, or property value. Visit crawlspacemedic.com.
A healthy home starts from the ground up.
Nobody wants to talk about septic services until there's a problem.
We're here to help.
At SNS Septic, we are here 24 hours a day to help when you need us.
As a 4th-generation business, we know that SNS Septic is the one to call for pumping, repairs, installations, and more. We cover residential, commercial, and government projects. If you have septic or plumbing problems, call us.
That's right. You can find us on the web at septicga.com.
Call SNS Septic today to set up an inspection of your system and have everything taken care of before it all hits the fan.
This is Mike Cormier, General Manager at Hardy Chevrolet. Some folks think that the automobile business is just about selling cars. At Hardy, we know it's more than just that. For us, it's about helping that young driver with their first car and helping that growing family that needs a bigger car. It's about relationships. It's about family. Drop by for a visit and you'll understand what Charles Hardy always said.
We love you and we need you.
Together, let's drive. At Hardy Chevrolet, Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville, online at hardychevrolet.com.
Check your pockets and you'll find a quarter ready to inspire you to visit the state you find on the back. It's America the Great on a podcast called Quarter Miles Travel, from Virginia's historic sites to the wide open plains of Montana, the low country rhythms of coastal Georgia to the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina. Explore America based on the U.S. Mint State Quarters. Hi, it's Anita with Travel with Anita and Friends. Quarter Miles Travel is all about pride in our states and our country. The natural beauty, the history, landmarks, and interesting people all make our country an exceptional place to visit. Go to my website, travelwithanita.com, where you will hear the podcast with stories told by historians and people who know the little-known facts. So come along, let's go on an adventure. Reach in your pocket and pull out that quarter. Flip it over, and Quarter Miles Travel will take it from there. We'll help you turn that quarter into an adventure.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet newsroom, Tuesday morning fires in Hall County and Commerce have fatal results, with another afternoon fire in Hall displacing 7. Details at Access WDUN and coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
Use the Access WDUN Talk and Text line, presented by M&R Rental at 770-535-2911, and be part of the conversation. From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville, it's the Martha Zoller Show on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Welcome back to the Martha Zoller Show. I am Tom Smiley, and I've got good news for you, extraordinaire producer.
Oh, yeah? What is that, Tom?
Looking at our live feed, you can go to YouTube, type in the search bar there, Access WDUN, scroll down a little ways to the camera, and you'll see the show live, streaming live. And I'm just going to tell you how many. I'm just going to tell you there are more right now than has ever been that I've noticed.
Look at that. There we back-to-back days.
There
we go.
Days. I'm telling you, it's going to be happy times are here.
I'm about to tell you, Tom, I'll steal a line that you always quote, and that's if you're hot, you're hot.
Well, look, a couple more things. Listen, I've used words my whole life, right? I was in the ministry for over 40 years, and so I've used words a lot, and I've used the wrong words a lot of times, and I've had to just sit back and laugh at myself. So I'm not being ugly. I'm just kind of, it's a little humorous, really. You know what the problem with a lot of people who speak a lot is they feel like they have to keep reinventing themselves, using bigger words, bigger concepts, trying to make themselves out to maybe be smarter than they really are. We find that a lot, and I think some of these audio sound bites, represent that. I mean, a lot of politician-type people, they feel like they need to impress us, the ordinary, just everyday citizen. So they use big words. They use words like stimulus packages, incumbent, optical scan ballot, when they really should just say things like free cash, the bum, election night disaster. I mean, that would be more of the nomenclature of the average common man, I think. So there you go. I got to give you a couple more of these as we moving along here. Bill Crane may join us here in a little while. I hope he does. But before he comes, Gerald Ford, love him to death. Gerald Ford said, if Lincoln were alive today, he'd be turning over in his grave. Now let that soak in for a moment. If Lincoln were alive today, he'd be turning over in his grave. I think we got that a little out of order somehow there, former president. And here's one that's near to my heart because, I've never been, accused of rightfully using the King's English. That's never been something that somebody has put on me. But I am reminded of, I think it was a former Texas governor, I'm not sure, but it's reported that the former governor said once, if the King's English was good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for me. Oh, man. So, I mean, it's just, it's funny, but it's sad, too. But we all make mistakes, and in this life. If you make a mistake, own up to it. I remember one time I was speaking in a church, and I used the wrong word. I'm not going to tell you what it was. I'm still embarrassed by it. And when I did use the wrong word, first there was a gasp that was widely heard in the congregation. And then there was laughter that just broke out. And all I could do, extraordinary producer, was just laugh with them.
That's all you got to do sometimes. You just got to, roll with the punches and not take everything too seriously.
I just had to go with it. And then I had to say, in conclusion, because, because at that point I had lost the room.
I was about to say, you got to wrap it up at that point. You got to do some damage control and get out of there.
I've lost the room. Oh, man. Here's a word, though, from Tom DeLay. You remember him? He was on Dancing with the Stars, I believe, many years ago. I'm not sure, but maybe he was. But anyway, when he was in the U.S. House, he was quoted to have said one time, we are no longer a superpower. Wait for it. We're no longer a superpower, he said. We are a super-duper power. Now, that's my kind of guy right there. That's my kind of language. A U.S. representative standing in the well of the House saying, we're no longer a superpower. We're a super-duper power. All right, let's get back to some of these that you can hear from their own words because it's even more hilarious. This is one that Joe Biden, and he did recover from it pretty good, but man, talking about not doing his advanced preparation and planning. Here's him telling a friend in a wheelchair, stand up, Chuck, stand up. We want to recognize you.
And I also am told that Chuck Graham, state senator, is here. Chuck, stand up, Chuck. Let him see you. Oh, God love you. What am I talking about? I tell you what, you're making everybody else stand up, though, pal. Thank you very, very much. I tell you what, stand up for Chuck.
Oh, man, that hat, I don't know if he had the mental capacity to even recognize what he had done, talking about Biden at the time. But my goodness, what a gaffe. I mean, I would, and that's all I will say is hard to try to recognize people when you're speaking. You don't want to leave anyone out. You're trying to think about the next person and pronouncing their name correctly, which I never could do. But what a gaffe there. Stand up, Chuck. Stand up. Oh, I'm sorry, Chuck. Chuck's in a wheelchair. He can't stand up. How about you? Stand up for Chuck. But he recovered it pretty well. Now, here's one of them, a more recent one from what could have been our present president. Kamala Harris was asked some questions. They're trying to give her these easy questions, just, donut, softball questions, and they couldn't even handle that.
And then best rapper alive.
Tupac.
He's not. You say he lives on.
But not a lot. I know. I keep doing that.
that is so funny because the interviewer, who was very pro Kamala, her first response was, "Girl, you must be crazy." But then she called herself. Play that again for me real quick. Play it again for me. Listen to the interviewer.
And then best rapper alive.
Tupac.
He's not. You say he lives on.
It's always good to have friends in the media when you make a mistake. Unfortunately, I've done a lot of live speaking, and you can't hardly undo what you said sometimes. That's why I used to love my podcast. Man, I loved podcasting because you could go back and edit. You could edit stuff out, and all the uhs and the is and the uhs, and you could just edit all that out, and it make you really sound good, taped. But live speaking sometimes can be a challenge. All right, we have time for one more real quick. Here's one more. What did Napoleon say? Before you listen to this, I want you to hear again one more time. I'm going to put this I have a little quotes statement in my phone, my favorite. I'm going to add this to my favorite quotes. Napoleon said, "In politics, stupidity is not a handicap."
Because, it is just wonderful to be back in Oregon, and over the last 15 months we've traveled to every corner of the United States. I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go. Alaska and Hawaii I was not allowed to go to, even though I really wanted to visit, but my staff would not justify it.
All right, let me get this straight. Alaska and Hawaii he couldn't go to, okay? But he's been to 57 with one more to go. So that will be 57, 58, 59, 60. I'm not quite sure Brother Barack had that number right. I'm not sure. It's 57 he's been to. They wouldn't let him go to Hawaii or Alaska, so that would be 57, 58, 59. And he said he had one left. That would be 60. I don't believe that's the correct number, Presidente. You can almost hear it. I'm going to play that one more time because it's so brief. But you can almost hear the audience waiting for the punchline, which never came.
Because, it is just wonderful to be back in Oregon, and over the last 15 months we've traveled to every corner of the United States. I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go. Alaska and Hawaii I was not allowed to go to, even though I really wanted to visit, but my staff would not justify it.
Hello, I'm Greg Beatles, president of your Atlanta Falcons and a proud supporter of Eagle Ranch. Eagle Ranch provides a peaceful, stable environment for children and families to find healing and renewal through offerings such as outpatient counseling, a day school program, a residential program, and other therapeutic services. This holiday season, I hope you'll join me in supporting the mission of Eagle Ranch to keep their services affordable and accessible. Learn more at eagleranch.org.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
10 athletes will face the toughest job interview in fitness that will push past physical and mental breaking points. You are the fittest of the fit. Only one of you will leave here with an iFit contract for $250,000.
This is when mindset comes in.
Someone will be eliminated.
Pressure is coming down.
Trainer Games on Prime Video January 8th. Watch the trailer on trainergames.com.
Get breaking news fast. Sign up at accesswdun.com for breaking news alerts via text. Log on to accesswdun.com for details and to sign up. You can also sign up to receive local weather and sports alerts. Get the news first with breaking news text alerts from Access WDUN and North Georgia's News Talk. WDUN Gainesville, WDUN FM Clarksville, Gainesville. Always here, always local.
It's 10:30.
Fox News, I'm Giala Gelosi. An estimated 1 million people are expected to ring in the new year in Times Square. The NYPD flooding the area with officers and conducting more security screenings to keep people safe. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch says there will be
assets that you will see and others that you will not see.
The Department of Health and Human Services is cutting off all federal child care payments to Minnesota in response to allegations of sweeping fraud. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told Fox,
"The Department of Justice, as we speak, is continuing to execute search warrants and subpoenas. People will be in handcuffs as a result of the fraud that Governor Walz has allowed to occur for many, many years."
Democratic Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says the Trump administration is politicizing the issue. America is listening to Fox News.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, I'm Steve Winslow, and several structure fires have been reported throughout Northeast Georgia during the past 24 hours, some with fatal results. The most recent fire is under Hall County Fire Marshal's Office investigation after it damaged a home and 3 vehicles Tuesday night. WDUN's Lawson Smith with details.
Hall County Fire rescue crews were called to the scene on the 4100 block of Topsail Ridge at 7:30 p.m. and arrived to find heavy fire conditions in and above the garage. 3 vehicles were also engulfed in flames and later towed by a wrecker. The 2 adults and 2 children exited the home prior to the crew's arrival and denied Red Cross assistance.
Other fires in Hall, White County, and City of Commerce have details listed at Access WDUN. New details have been released in an officer-involved shooting that left a suspect injured Tuesday in Barrow County. WDUN's Caleb Hutchins with more.
According to the GBI and the Barrow County Sheriff's Office, the incident happened just after 10 a.m. at a home on Mount Moriah Road in Auburn. The GBI says Barrow County deputies and Auburn police officers were serving an arrest warrant at the home when another man, who was not the subject of the warrant, tried to run over 2 officers in a vehicle. A Barrow deputy then opened fire on the vehicle, hitting the man once. The man was taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. The case remains under investigation. No deputies or officers were injured in the incident.
You'll find more news online at Access WDUN. Now here's your Access WDUN forecast from meteorologist Holly Strano.
North Georgia, happy New Year's Eve. Mostly sunny skies continue. Highs this afternoon in the low 50s. Mostly clear skies overnight. Lows will be in the mid to upper 30s. From the Access WDUN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Holly Strano.
In Cleveland, 30 degrees, Lawrenceville, 34, and in Gainesville, 32. From North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
What if my surviving children are in the middle of a divorce? Can I see to it in advance that my assets go to them and only them? This is Kevin Tharp, elder law and estate planning attorney, and the answer is yes. There are steps that you need to take now in order to ensure that your assets go where you want them to go. It's up to you, however, to make the first call. Visit my website at kevintharp.com and learn how to get help planning for your family's future.
Winter's here, and it's time to prep your equipment for the cold season with Kawasaki Genuine Parts, the parts that keep your machines running strong all year long. From changing air filters to replacing spark plugs or getting ahead of the spring maintenance, Kawasaki delivers the performance your engines were built for. Find them today at Howard Brothers. They have the know-how and parts you need when you need it. Get winter ready. Trust Kawasaki and Howard Brothers for the right parts and the best service.
It's the Martha Zoller Show, presented by Gainesville Mechanical, from the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Well, I'm so happy that you're listening today from all over the place. Thank you so much. My good friend and fellow fill-in co-hoster, Butch Miller, to know him is to love him. That's what I've always said. Even sent me a very nice little email, a text. I appreciate that. Thank you, Butch. And also got a text from one of our listeners. It's, hey, Tom, Strom Thurmond in 1971 came to visit us at our Army camp at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. He didn't mention Guam, but he did have his wink, wink, very young daughter with him. You'll have to Google that for yourself. I'm not going to go into that. And then Henry, our listeners are so insightful. Henry texted and he said, hey, Tom, do you have the clip of Napoleon actually saying that? You know what? AI, I bet, could find it. What did Napoleon say? He said, in politics, stupidity is not a handicap. You know what? You could just about probably fill in the blank there for in politics. You could probably put many things in that line. It's been a lot of fun. Okay, I've got a couple of serious stories, but I want to finish up a couple of these because they're really, really insightful, really funny. So here are some things that some people have said over the years. You know, making New Year's predictions. I'm only saying this to warn you about your predictions that you make and your New Year's resolutions. Be careful. Somebody's going to be writing those down. This is something I thought was very interesting. In 1943, Thomas Watson, who was the IBM chairman, this is what he said. I think there is a world market for maybe 5 computers. I think he kind of underestimated that. And then the patent commissioner in 1899 should not have said this. I would guess he would regret somebody writing it down, but he said, this Charles H. Dully, everything that can be invented has been invented. Well, there you go. A couple more of these, and I'll move on. I just find these so interesting. This is a philosophical statement that's been attributed to a lot of people, so I'm not sure who actually said it, but it's pretty insightful in today's time. We are all born ignorant, but one must work hard to remain stupid. All right, well, I just wanted to give you a walk back through time there and let you hear from yourself some of these crazy things people say. Be careful what you say. And if you say something that's wrong, just admit it. You may have to your next word may be in conclusion. By the way, that's the only time I've ever got a standing ovation. I preached for over 40 years. And I've given a lot of speeches, both, spiritual speeches and also, humorous speeches and civic club speeches and, Valentine banquet speeches and, all those kinds of stuff. The only time I ever got a standing ovation, I think it was, I was in a 47-week study of the book of Romans. And I think I got a standing ovation that Sunday that I said, in conclusion. Oh, Lord. All right. Well, let me get to a story that I really want to talk to you about. This is a very interesting thing. We hear a lot about the demonization of white Christian males, of which I am. I am a white Christian male. And I hear all these stories about how everything that is wrong with the world is because of me, a white Christian male. that I've had all this privilege. I've had all this privilege as a white Christian male. Well, to tell you what my privilege was. My privilege was starting a lawnmower business at the age of 10 so I could pay for the $1 pass it took to get into the Knights of Columbus swimming pool. That was my privilege. My privilege was when I was in high school, I went to school till about 1 and then worked a job until dark or dark 30, as they say. That was my white privilege. Or how about when I was in college and I would go to class and then I would go clean out the locker rooms and the bathrooms in the gymnasium as my work-study program to make money to stay in school for room and board. That's my white privilege. Here's a black lady in academia. She's very smart. I can't remember her name, but she gives a little description about the demonization of white Christian males. And I thought this was so interesting coming from a black academia female. Listen to this.
The question is, when did the white Christian male become the chosen enemy of the left? And that has been going on for a long time, but I would say that during the Obama administration and the Biden administrations, it sort of accelerated itself. But for decades, the argument has been that the root of all evil lies with the white men because they dominate everything. And the painting of the evil white man totally disregards the reality that most white men are not affluent people that have had everything handed to them. Some of them come from places like J.D. Vance. Many of the millionaires and billionaires came from poverty. They're people that worked hard, that Christian Protestant work ethic. And I can tell you too that by the time I left academia in 2017 was my last year, I can tell you that I was being treated like an old white man, which means I had no value.
I just don't think it can be said any better than that. Carol Swain, professor, PhD, I believe. I just don't believe it can be said any better. I just wanted you to hear that because I think it's very, very important, especially from my perspective. Okay, we're going to catch a phone call real quick, and this is Ed, my friend, in Brazelton. Happy New Year to you, Edward.
Same to you, same to you. Hey, Tom, do you have, speaking of stupid is what stupid says, do you have that clip of Donald Trump when he was asked if he was asked about the nuclear triad and he didn't have a clue what the nuclear triad was?
No, I don't have that clip, but it would be a good one.
That was funny. And you should do another segment, man, another segment called When Stupid Kills. You remember during the COVID-19, and God rest his soul, a reporter asked Herman Cain if he had been vaccinated, and Herman Cain said Jesus is his vaccine. 3 weeks later, Herman Cain contracted the virus, and let's just say he's no longer with us right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Hey, Ed, I did have a friend write in. He said, and tell me what you think about this one. He said, Mark Twain is reported to have said, politicians are like diapers. They should be changed often and for the same reasons.
I heard that one. All right, you have a good
Hey,
New
Ed,
Year, man.
Ed, I hope you have a great, happy New Year. And I'll be back on for Martha from time to time. Give me a call. You're always welcome. I always enjoy talking to you, friend.
You got it, man.
Take
Thanks,
care.
bye.
All right, bye-bye. I enjoy talking to Ed. Ed's a smart person, I think. I really do believe he is. All right, it's 10:43. Let's take a break and let me get organized here. You can see on the live feed. By the way, we now have more on the live feed than I've ever noticed. Can I watch this on the live feed? I'm going to raise my left hand. Do this with me, extraordinary producer.
Let's do it.
Raise your left hand.
Raise it up.
Reach over your right shoulder and pat yourself on the back right there like that. There you go.
There we go. Get some audio
You'll
there.
see that on the live feed. All right, we'll be right back. It's 10:44. I'm Tom Smiley filling in for Martha. I've got a couple of more stories for you, and look forward to hearing from you. Send me a text if you'd like, 770-535-2911.
in North Georgia.
It's the topics that matter to me.
We're your eyes and ears in the community with the latest breaking news.
It's the most important thing we face.
AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN. Always here, always local.
Have you ever been at your wit's end over conflict? Hi, this is Whit Martin, pastor of Asbury Chapel. You may have heard it said, misery loves company. But what if we were able to leave misery alone and join company that brings joy and peace? I'm talking about company that is family, the family of God. The Bible says in Matthew 5:9, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God." God's children make peace by first introducing others to God, the Father of this joyful family called the church, and then by bringing peace to those around them. Just as God made peace with sinners so that they can know and have salvation, so God's children are about the same business. What a world this can be if we will be about the business of making peace. And that is Wit's End. Asbury Chapel invites you to learn more by joining us for worship at 758 Main Street on Sundays at 10 a.m. Visit asburychapel.net for more.
Nobody wants to talk about septic services until there's a problem.
We're here to help.
At SNS Septic, we are here 24 hours a day to help when you need us.
As a fourth-generation business, we know that SNS Septic is the one to call for pumping, repairs, installations, and more. We cover residential, commercial, and government projects. If you have septic or plumbing problems, call us.
That's right. You can find us on the web at septicga.com.
Call SNS Septic today to set up an inspection of your system and have everything taken care of before it all hits the fan.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, positive test results for rabies have been reported from Coyote in Beaufort over the past weekend. Details at Access WDUN and coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
Use the Access WDUN talk and text line, presented by M&R Rental at 770-535-2911, and be part of the conversation. From the Northeast Georgia Health System studio in downtown Gainesville, it's the Martha Zoller Show on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Welcome back to the Martha Zoller Show. Tom Smiley filling in for Martha. And Ed, our extraordinary producer found that Donald Trump question thing that you referenced. I can't play it because it's so blasted long. I mean, he I don't know that he really ever answered the question, but he sure did talk a long time. So I did look that up. Thanks for bringing that up. It would have been a good one, but he never got to, Anyway, Donald Trump is good at talking a long time about something. Look, I've got a I don't know, maybe a little different feeling about this story than some of you may have. Madami, New York, the new mayor-elect, he's beginning to fill in his cabinet, so to speak, his people. And, of course, he's getting the kind of people that, he is like. That's what you get when you have elections. Elections matter. Elections matter. He's filling his cabinet with people. He's had some questionable appointments already. I mean, the fire commissioner that was recently appointed, a lot of the firemen, some of them have resigned. Some of them have quit. They've left. They're not going to support that particular fire commissioner or whatever the title is. And so, that happens. Elections have consequences. When you win, you get to appoint your people, right? If you don't like President Trump's cabinet, tough. He gets to appoint his people. And Madami gets to appoint his people. Here's a controversial appointment, and I'll come back and tell you what I think about that, but I want you to hear it first. It's about 60 seconds. So this is Madami announcing who his city attorney is going to be.
I'm delighted to announce that I am naming Ramzi Qasim as chief counsel. Ramzi will be joining the administration from CUNY, where he serves as a professor of law. Government service is no novel concept for Ramzi, who served as a senior policy advisor for President Biden from 2022 to 2024, and has deep experience arguing in court, including before the Supreme Court. I will turn to Ramzi for his remarkable experience and his commitment to defending those too often abandoned by our legal system. City Hall will be stronger with him in it, and our work of building a more prosperous city for all will have a powerful advocate. My sincere hope is that New Yorkers who have long felt on the margins of this city, the homeless veteran straining to survive, the patient searching for the care that they need, an immigrant trying to get by, will feel that they now have leaders in their corner who understand their struggles and care to fight for them.
Well, I'm not sure about how qualified he is. He sounds to be very qualified, but the fact that he served as the senior policy advisor for immigration on the White House Domestic Policy Council under former Joe Biden says a lot. I wonder exactly what his advice was. The senior policy advisor for immigration. And you know what a disaster that program was. But the point I'm making is people are criticizing this as a controversial appointment because Mr. Ramzi is considered to be controversial by some because he defended an al-Qaeda terrorist in court. Now, I don't know that that makes him controversial. I mean, we live in a country where everybody deserves a defense. Everybody gets a lawyer. Somebody has to be the lawyer. So if that's all I knew about Mr. Qasim, or however I should pronounce his name, that's not enough for me to say he's controversial. What makes him controversial for me would be, if I lived in New York, is that his service as senior policy advisor for immigration on the White House Domestic Policy Council. That would be controversial for me because I would say, man, this guy must not know what he's doing because of the disaster that the immigration policy was. But I wouldn't say he's controversial just because as an attorney, he had some clients like this al-Qaeda person, or even prior to that, in 2014, he was the defense counsel for another terrorist that was found ultimately guilty. So I don't know if that makes him controversial or not. It doesn't necessarily make it controversial to me. It makes it questionable to me because I don't know how much common sense the man's got. If he was this, but who knows? Maybe Joe Biden did not follow his advice on immigration. So without knowing that, how could you really judge that? Well, I want to go out today with a segment because, Queen, you like the music group Queen, right? You like them, don't you?
Oh, of course, yeah.
So they had a great little song. And this goes out to all of those narco-terrorist drug boat operators because they're really having a hard time finding drivers for those boats. And I want to talk about that in this context. So here first is a little take of Queen. Bluey, because that's what Heseth and others are doing with these narco-terrorists. And before you say how wrong that is, I want you to listen to Marco Rubio, who really isn't going to take it from these left-wing, liberal, woke, Marxist, communist, socialist reporters who want to somehow assume that what we're doing is not right.
Destroy. The EU claims that President Trump violated international law by targeting narco-terrorists.
I don't think that the European Union gets to determine what international law is. They certainly don't get to determine is how the United States defends its national security. The United States is under attack from organized criminal narco-terrorists in our hemisphere, and the president is responding in the defense of our country. I do find it interesting that all these countries want us to send, and supply, for example, nuclear-capable Tomahawk missiles to defend Europe, But when the United States positions aircraft carriers in our hemisphere where we live, somehow that's a problem. So I would say that the United States and this president has made very clear his job is to protect the United States from threats against the United States, and that is what he's doing in this operation.
And so here's what I want you to take away from this story. I want you to take away who gave us permission in 1986 to blow narco-terrorist boats out of the water, who now is criticizing the very move that he supported years ago. Now listen for yourself, and you'll be surprised who was a major instigator in the legislation to allow for the blowing up of narco-terrorist drug boats.
This is the Maritime Drug Law Enforcement Act of 1986, authored by a member of Congress in 1986 from the state of New York. His name, Chuck Schumer. He wrote the law that passed almost unanimously that makes it legal to blow drug boats out of the water. It happened in the 80s a lot, in the 90s a lot. Go ahead, look it up, folks. Chuck Schumer, the author of this bill that made what we're doing with Venezuelan drug boats fully legal. We don't need permission from the rest of the world. Chuck Schumer gave us that in 1986.
I think our choir did that song one Sunday. I'm not sure. I'm just teasing.
I was about to say, that would be a show right there if they put that one on.
You'd come, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. That's a concert right there.
Oh, man. Too much fun. All right. Well, about a minute left in this year's show, I reckon, Logan.
That's it. We're ending it with a bang in 2025, Tom. We've had a great couple days here. Thank you always for filling in for Martha, as I know she's been out of town and enjoying some time after Christmas with the family. I know she loves spending time with them, but I'm sure she's happy to get back. She'll be back on Friday. Just a quick kind of programming note for tomorrow. We're not going to have any live programming, but we are going to be having some Fox specials running for both the Mornings on Main Street hour from 5:30 to 9, and then after that's over, we're going to be having some more specials run during the normal time in which the show will be on here from 9 to 11. It's going to run all day. We're going to have some live news coverage as well. We're going to have myself as well as a few other people working, providing live coverage, whatever's going on in the area, of course. So we're always going to keep you up to date there. But we're getting a little bit of a break tomorrow, Tom, for all the live shows. But we'll be back on Friday. Don't worry.
Yep.
And Martha will be back.
Martha will be back.
That'll be exciting.
And, I'll be back a few times next year. We've already got some stuff scheduled, and things always come up. I really want to tell you thank you. And I really do appreciate your kindness and your comments. And Logan, you've done an excellent job. And all of you listeners, thank you for your text, for your calls. I see you around town here and there. And it's always very kind of you to be so encouraging. I really do love it. That's why I do it. I just really do love it. As a friend of mine said, and I agree, I've never met a microphone I didn't love. And so I really love being with you. So Happy New Year to you. Be very careful and very safe. Please don't do anything really ridiculously stupid tonight. Just be careful. There's a lot of people out. Don't do anything you shouldn't do. Have fun, but be wise. Will you be discerning? And I hope you have a great, great new year. 2026 is going to be a challenging year and an interesting year, and I'll look forward to being here with you